Okay, what we're going to do now is tackle the SketchUp skill assessment, the SSA, for the title block, number 2. We're going to create a title block that's 24 inches by 36 inches, and we're going to do a portrait in anticipation of doing the perspective and elevation. We're going to add a project title, sheet title to it, date, drawn by, put your company name and logo. Use the same thing we use for AutoCAD pretty much. North arrow and graphic scale. We're going to create more of an artboard rather than a construction document for this one, but you can use the same process to create a construction document. Plus, there's templates that are in both AutoCAD and SketchUp that you can pull and use automatically. But it's just good to know how to create your own custom title blocks as well. Okay, so that being said, what I'm going to do first is open up the SketchUp model that we did. Just want to look at it one more time, probably add some more people, just to make the scenes a little bit more interesting and add some scale. Okay, so I have a few people there. Let me just put myself in the right layer. Ooh, I didn't create a layer for that. So let me do a ET people. And put them like that. Put them on that layer. So ET people. Okay. And let me put some more people in here. Just and again, I'm just showing you how you can kind of navigate to these things. Okay. So probably some students would be a good idea. And maybe the students are down here, light waiting. Maybe just chick walking. She's walking. Lady shopping, maybe homeboys just standing here, like kind of confused. Okay. Okay. I'll just shoot my scenes kind of focused around that just to give it a little bit more interest. And I'll put the dog in too. He's just chilling in the grass. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna save that. So now what I want to do is I want to kick this out to layout, and this is where we do kind of our well, before I do that, let me show you another way. Before we do that, we'll actually create the template in layout. I would make your scene a little bit more interesting if you don't have people in it already. If you already have people, then that's fine. Don't worry about it. But if it's not, make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to go into the accompanying program called Layout. Comes with SketchUp. It's in AutoCAD. This is built into the program. It's just basically paper space. So SketchUp came up with a separate piece of software application that handles their paper space and allows you to do layouts. So we're going to create one, and there are some templates here. You can go to title blocks, and we already have created title blocks. So let's actually look at one. I'll pick a Arc D because it's the size that we need, 24 inches by 36 inches. It's the wrong orientation, but we can fix that. So you see in here, you already have text boxes and fields. These are the text boxes that you can actually update and have automatic throughout your layout, your documentation, and that should have been covered within the SketchUp tutorials. What we're going to do is, just for the sake of doing it, like I said, so you know how, I'm going to go to the cover page and just kind of pages, cover page, even comes with a cover page, but we don't need that, so I'm going to delete that. And we're going to stay in the inside page. I'm going to grab all this and just delete that, and we're going to start from scratch. So I'm going to go File, Page Setup, oh, not Page Setup, Document Setup, and I'm going to go to Grid, not Grid, but Paper. Go to Margins, and I like making that red just so I can see it. 1/2 inch is fine. I'm going to change the orientation to Portrait. Okay, so that's how we do that. And I'm going to go to my layers just to make sure I'm being layer conscious, and I'm going to call this Viewport. And I'm going to just delete that and put this on this. And I'm going to double click here and just call this Text. Okay. I'm going to stay on the text layer for now, and what I'm going to do is just create basically a title block area down here. All the information that was in here, I'm going to put here. So I'm on the text layer, and I'm going to grab my text tool. And before I do that, let me go to my text styles. And I want to go, I know it's Arial. We'll use bold for this one. And maybe, I don't know, like 100 maybe? I don't know, something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to touch the text box, and it's going to come up the appropriate size, and I'm just going to say title block. Well, not title block, but what am I calling this? Project title and sheet titles. Okay. So, project title. I'm going to grab this and kind of drag it over. Okay, and I want to center that. Double click here and just enter. Come down, and I'm going to make this like a 50 in regular. And I'm going to call this the sheet. Man, that's still too big, isn't it? No, it didn't change as well. There you go. And I'll just drag this down so I can actually see that. Alright, so it's moving along pretty quickly. What else do we need? I think we need the date and drawn by. So I'm just going to grab this to copy it, and I'm going to come in here and just make this all like 15 and like regular. So, and also I'm going to pull this back and left align it. And I'm going to call this drawn by. And just use your initials. And you can give yourself a date field. Okay, and then I'm just going to do a quick size to fit, and then make unbounded, and maybe I'll make these a bold too. They stand out a little bit. So maybe that's bold, and what is it? 1, 12, 16, and maybe, oh, it's not 16. Aha, 17. They come back over here and grab it. Alright, there it is, bold. Okay, cool. So that's done. I'll just kind of drag this down, just position it. Boom. What else do we need? Company name and logo, North Arrow and graphic scale. Okay, so the company name, you just use that same technique I did before and just kind of let out. And I'm going to make this, I don't know, like 250 or something. It looks big. Maybe it's like 220. Still looks big. 200. I want it to be subordinate to the project title. It doesn't need to be that strong. It's too close to it. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller this time. And make unbounded. Okay. And I'll just put this here. And actually what I can do too to make it stand out a little bit more is just change it to like a light gray tone. You can do what you want for yours. You can even import an image if you'd like. And now I'm going to, let me finish that. Grab these regular ones. And I'm gonna say, what is this? Incorporated. And that was like regular, right? Something like that. Bam. Maybe that's like a 12. Maybe that's like a 13. Damn, maybe it is a 15. Okay, that looks good to me. And oops. What I can do too is grab these things and grab multiple ones and just group them to make it easier to move them around together. Alright, just gonna put it in the corner. Maybe that should be a little bit smaller. Make it a 13. Maybe make this like a 95. Alright. Okay, cool. And what else? Now, we're doing an artboard, so we don't necessarily need the north arrow and graphic scale, but I'll show you how to put it in. There are scrapbooks, which are basically blocks. You can save geometries and create your own scrapbooks. I'm going to go to like, contemporary. No, I don't want that. Let me go to plain. Just keep it plain. Toggle through. I'm just going to grab this. You can use what you want. You can play with this and experiment. I'm going to go to my selection tool and just grab this north arrow and pull it over. And you can also grab a scale. But let me show you also how it's really easy to make a scale too. You can just grab the rectangle tool, grab, kind of drag out the position you want. I'll go 0.5 for half an inch and copy it. Same way we did with AutoCAD basically. And then do that. Bam, bam, bam. Then I'll grab all that and then just go to fill. I'll make it a dark color. And grab one of these text boxes, come up here. Come kind of like right there. And 0 feet. Boom. Go back to your text styles. Regular. And just drag that baby down. And depending on what scale you use, you'll just update these fields. Oops. Bam. Bam. And I'll grab these things and put them in a group so that you can just access them and, like I said, move it around more easily. Alright. And when you're done with that, you'll have your initials, of course, and have that prepped. You can file and then save this as a template. You can call it my 24-inch by 36-inch template. I mean, that's a little bit redundant. 24, just say artboard. Oh. My bad. There you go. If it doesn't allow you to save it to your system, just do a file save as. Put it on your jump drive and a desktop, and then upload it to your cloud storage so you have it. Just call it the same thing, and you'll just open it up as a file. All right. So once you have that, I saved mine as a template. So once you have that, I'm going to go back to my SketchUp now, and that's where we will begin to kick out the perspectives. We'll set the scenes and kick the perspectives out and use that template we just created. If any questions, let me know, or send me an email, or contact me in studio, grab me, whatever it takes, and we'll help you figure this out. Real quick, one thing I neglected to add is how do you submit this. So once you have your title block kind of created, you can just file, export, and you can kick it out as a PDF. Let's save this to my desktop. I'm going to do high quality and export. And there you have it. So pretty easy, and you would just submit that document then to to Blackboard. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know, and we'll try to get you some answers.